Hey everyone, I'm Patrick Brown. Welcome to monthly project number 40. The theme for this month is versus, which means two characters were chosen to clash and battle and make some epic art. So for the past month, my art community over at my Patreon have been chipping away at this challenge. So let's go see what they've all come up with. Each month I pick 3 submissions to critique, so congrats to Andrew, Matt and Sai. Really cool art here. I'll give you some feedback towards the end of the video. First up, we've got Gavin. You've done Invincible versus Spawn. This is such a cool idea. Super clean line work there. This is awesome. I personally think Invincible might win. What do you think? Awesome work there. Patrick has done The Witcher versus Red Sonja. This is a really good idea. They're a good match for a clash. Very nice work here. Really love your rendering. That's amazing. And Paul has done Skeletor versus Fisto. This is a cool clash. Really nice artwork there as well. The overall colors are just great. This is really popping. Awesome work. Xander has done Superman versus Venom. Great idea. I really like this. Cool mashup. I love how Superman's raging out there. Maybe Venom's bringing out his bad side. That's awesome. Patrick has done Superman versus Vision. Wow, these colors are just popping. I really love how those capes kind of divide the piece. It's almost like yellow versus red. It's really cool. Awesome clash overall. This is great. Liam has done Samurai Jack versus Spear and Fang from Primal. This piece is awesome. There's a lot of edge to it. I really like the way you've done the art style. There's lots to look at here. Awesome work, Liam. Eric has done Bowser versus Link from Zelda. You've also got Samus up there. This is epic. Really awesome piece here. Love that dramatic low angle there. Great composition. Next up is Brett. You've done Voldemort versus Harry Potter. I really love how you've done it in a whole comic style. Like that whole setup is just great. Your artwork always has a lot of energy and it's very dynamic. I love it. Blaze has done Deadpool versus Spider-Man. That's a cool idea. I really like this mashup. Great poses there as well. This is awesome. I'm not quite sure who's got this. Who do you think would win? And Scott has done Thanos versus One Punch Man. I love this. This mashup is so unique. Do you know what? I think One Punch Man has got this, hands down. Very cool mashup. That's great. And Joel has done Omni-Man versus Homelander. That's a really cool idea for a clash as well. They're both just as bad as each other. I reckon Omni-Man has got this one easy. But that would be a really cool fight to see. Awesome work. Okay, time to get into the critiques now. And we're going to start with Andrew. You've done Wonder Woman versus Kratos. I think this is an awesome idea. I don't think I've ever seen it, but they match. They're like perfectly matched, and I love that. Because she has that ancient god kind of look to her as well. Amazon warrior, and it really suits his kind of world as well. Kratos, the monster hunter and the killer of gods. Awesome artwork too. Very clear and crisp. She looks great. Now, as for some feedback, I'm just going to start by, I just want to adjust her head a little bit. I feel like it might be just a little bit too small, but I'm also making a few tweaks. I feel like the ear needs to be lower, along with the jaw a little bit as well. And I just feel like the top half of her face needs to come out a little more, and more room in the top of her head as well. So this is kind of what I've ended up with. So that's it there. And then before it was kind of that. But it's more just a few structural things in the face. And the head before it was like that, and now it's like that. So it was just a little bit too small for me, or something rather. Another good way to see if there's any issues is to flip the canvas. So I'm flipping it around, and then you can flip it back, and just keep doing that until you see some of the things that might need adjusting. I just find it helps a lot. So I'm going to make a few tweaks to her body as well. There we go. So just a few tweaks. I felt like maybe her fists were just a little too small before or something, and just the arms as well. I wanted a little bit more thickness here. So that was before and after. Just a little thickness in between where the joint is under the armpit. The chest mainly. If you look at the chest here. So before it was, I just felt like the top where it joins is coming out a little too far. But you kind of want to have that join. Say if this is the ribs here, and then you want to have that kind of part there go up and around. Whereas before it kind of just went a little bit too far that way. You see what I mean? See where that join is there? Anyway, just a few minor tweaks I felt that needed to be thrown in there. So after, before, after. One thing I recommend is putting some color into your outlines there. You see how the outlines are really black, but I think if you actually put some color through your outlines, just in the spots where like the skin is maybe, I think it would really come across a lot nicer. I think it would just come across a little bit more appealing, easier on the eyes, you know, when you've got nice softer colorized lines. I think it'd be a really cool touch to your artwork. There we go, see what I mean? So I'm just kind of softening out some parts of these. Yeah, I just feel like it's a nicer touch, especially if you did it on Kratos here. It doesn't have to be major. See, that's before and after. So before, after. It's just a minor adjustment, but I think it makes a big difference. I'd recommend actually thinning out some of your lines as well. So I'm just going through and chipping away at some of your outlines here. They're a little thick, so get a good balance. You kind of see what I mean. You've done it up here on the head. That's great, where it's thin and then it comes down to thick around the back of the neck. I just feel like that'll work a bit better. So before it was like that, and now it's like that. So a little more tapered. Just adding a bit more lightness to that skin there. But I won't do it as harsh as I had it there. Maybe like that much. But I'm basically trying to put more contrast between the skin and the tattoo. So make the tattoos kind of pop a little more by lightening that skin more. Yeah, something like that. I think that's probably a better balance there. I feel like we just need to push the head up and out more. I'm going to try something crazy. There we go. So I've just added, you know, a more crazy kind of expression. I feel like you could really go nuts with that. I don't know if it's too much, but I really like having those big crazy mouths. Maybe I've gone too big. Let me just make a slight adjustment. And I also, you know, just fixed the structure of Kratos's face there. I feel like his nose has more indents and things like that, and creases, and a big brow, big thick brow, stuff like that. I'm just shrinking his mouth down a little bit more. But yeah, there we go. I reckon that'll probably work all right. Let me show you before. So before and then after. I've rotated the head. Added a little more expression into the face, just more anger. But yeah, and the only other thing I'd probably do is just saturate the red in Kratos's tattoos a little bit more, make them a little bit more saturated. But anyway, I'll leave it there. So that's after and before. So after and before. See, it's not too much. I know it's not too much, but it's just some tweaks that I wanted to point out, and I think it would make all the difference, especially with Wonder Woman's lines. I really love how they're colored now. I just think that would really enhance your work a lot more as well. And yeah, playing around with those expressions. I really love your work, Andrew, so keep it up. Thank you so much. All right, next up we've got Matt. You've got the Predator versus Wolverine. I love this idea. I love it. And I think this is great. Really cool artwork here as well. You've got a really nice angle looking down on Wolverine. He's on the hunt. I think this is awesome. Great concept. So let's get into some feedback for you. Now, I really love everything in the trees. See all that detail. You've got such a great background. You're really good at all that. I really like Wolverine there. I think he's great. I'd probably just maybe make his head a little bit smaller, but I'll get to that. I think my main issue is just with the Predator here. At first glance, I was a little confused at the pose and how he's maneuvering and stuff, but I think it was just the way that the armor sits on his body there was throwing me off a little bit. I get the idea that he's looking down, he's clinging onto the tree up here, but yeah, it was just a little hard to read. And what you want to do is make sure that it's a very easy to read pose from the beginning and the get-go, like at first glance. You are really good at doing the shading with the inks. Like, see how that black comes down? I really love that. Very comic style. Anyway, so what I'll do is I'm going to try and do a quick redraw. I feel like you may have drawn the armor and all the details on Predator first as you were drawing the pose. But the best thing you can do is actually just draw the anatomy, like draw a naked body first. That's what I always say. Just draw the actual physique and body by itself first, like sketch it up, and then you do all the armor later over the top. All those fine details can be added on and layered on top of the anatomy later. This way you'll have it way more accurate, you'll have the anatomy exact, and the armor and then all the stuff over the top will fit perfectly. Everything will just fall into place. It's just a very clever and kind of cleaner way to work, and it's kind of what I've done over the years of working in the industry. Is just a way more accurate way of structuring your characters. There we go. So I've laid out, you know, the main anatomy underneath, so you can really see all of that structured. And then I'll basically layer over maybe another white fade over just so I can see. And then you start doing the armor over that. That's the next step. And this way you're going to get everything exact. Nothing's going to be out of place or kind of odd. There we go. So that armor is now layered over the top. So it should help, yeah, pull it all together correctly. So is a before and after. I kind of stretched the body out as well. I felt like there needed to be more torso and the abdomen area. Really stretching that out, lowering those legs down more. You've got heaps of room here, so I just felt like I'd use it and fill in those gaps. I could probably, you know, raise that arm more and fill in this space more, maybe have it more clawed upwards. Yeah, I definitely think that works a little better than having it down, so probably up more, yeah, filling in that space there. But yeah, I really, yeah, just wanted to kind of point out that, you know, making sure that we draw the body structure first. So yeah, I hope that helps. I think Wolverine's fine. It looks really good. Like I said, I love your whole setup. I really, really love this composition. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The only thing was the Predator himself. I felt like needed that structure. So yeah, awesome work, Matt. And I yeah, hope that helps. All right, last critique, and we've got Sai. I really like this one here. You got Wolverine versus Hulk. I chose this one as a critique, but you did have 8 more. Like you had, I think you had 10 submissions in total, which is absolutely bonkers. So here we go. We got Hulk versus the Hulkbuster Iron Man. We got Miles Morales and the Hobgoblin, which I really love, Spider-Man. And Morbius and Blade. That's a really cool idea. Really good mashup there. Looks awesome. I love those expressions. And you've got this one here blew my mind. So this is Venom from Spider-Man 2. This is actually a full piece from Spider-Man 2 versus Kraven. And I just love what you've done in this whole thing. Venom as well, just that pose, the angle. This is just top-notch work there, Si. And you've also got Beast versus Hulk as well, another one. Absolutely smashing out this work. You got Vision versus Ultron. This one's really cool. I love that city backdrop. You've put a lot of work and a lot of detail into Ultron himself. That's not easy, especially Vision's face. Looks really cool. And what else have we got? We've got Luke Cage versus Hulk as well. And I love this. That pose of him is epic. They're both great. Hulk looks amazing. I think that's absolutely awesome. You've also got Darkseid versus Thanos. So DC versus Marvel, basically, which is a really cool idea. I like that concept. I love those mashups when you get 2 different things and put them together. That's awesome. Look at all them skulls on the ground. I only just noticed that. Yeah, epic work, Sai. You're an amazing artist. You're just doing so well. But I wanted to choose this piece for the critique. So let's get into it. I really love the piece overall, but I think I just wanted to talk about composition mainly with this one. And we can make a few adjustments to help that and improve the composition. I think we could probably size up Wolverine and really play around with some foreshortening. So it's going to look like Wolverine's much closer to us, and then Hulk can be further back. So Hulk's still going to look huge if we do this. We're just giving him some distance. I think that's a really cool way to do it. I was just looking through some old sketches and I found this pose, and I think we could do something very similar to this for you, for your Wolverine. So I'm going to just borrow that and put it in here and kind of adjust it to fit yours. And I think that'll be a really cool fit for this. So let's have a look and see what we can come up with. Right, all I need now is the claws, so I'm going to put those in. You kind of see what I'm doing. I'm making use of all the empty space, filling in every little gap. That's going to make a really nice kind of composition. Everything just fits together nicely, and you still get that dynamic scene. Still very similar to what you had. It's just yeah, a little more dynamic overall. More threatening, I think, having the claws pointing right up at Hulk now, and I think that's cool. And plus you get some over here, you get them right in the foreground, which I think is going to be a cool touch as well, like kind of coming at you with a bit of foreshortening. They do go off the page a little, but that's fine. There we go. I think the only other thing I'd do is make Hulk's head just a tiny bit smaller. See, it was like that, and now it's like that. I really love the drawing. It's cool. I don't know. I just feel like his head was just a little big, so I'm taking it down. Hopefully, and that also makes his body seem a lot bigger. He's more huge in the body, as he should be. And yeah, I think that setup with Wolverine would work really nice for this composition. So all right, let's have a look at the before. So before and after. So pretty big difference in composition. It's really just by bringing him to the foreground. You can have some foreshortening now. Yeah, but yeah, I hope you like it. And that's about it. That's about all I got time for today. And yeah, I hope that helps, Sai. I really love your work, and I'm impressed that you could do like 10 pictures. I think you said that you did have a few that were already done from like a month or two ago, but that's fine. I'm just glad you could show them. It fits with the theme. So yeah, thanks so much. Alright, that is it for this monthly project. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you everyone who submitted some awesome art. This was really fun. I really enjoyed this. Such a fun theme to play around with, you know, the verses, having a bit of a battle between any character from any universe, mashing them together. It's just a lot of fun. Great work everyone. And if you're new to this and you'd like to join in on these monthly projects, head over to patreon.com/PatrickBrown. There's lots of cool benefits. Tutorials, art competitions, Photoshop files, art files, heaps of stuff. And we have a whole art community there. So yeah, feel free to join in. Alright, I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you so much.